So in the last video, we talked about the first two types of pre-seed fundraising, bootstrapping and friends and family funding. Let's now jump to level 2, where the work of running a company starts to get a little more complicated and the stakes just a little bit higher. In this stage, there are typically going to be two main types of funding that you go for: angel investors and accelerator programs. We're going to do a deep dive on each, but before we do that, there's one important thing you got to know. This stage of startup building is typically going to be the domain of companies that have already checked off the two major boxes that we talked about in the last lesson. One, they've already identified a problem with a needed solution, and two, they've put together a team that they believe can successfully solve that problem. At this point, they're going to start needing bigger amounts of cash because they're moving into the third stage, which is an especially challenging phase of building a startup, and that's finding the legendary product market fit. So to get started, let's go ahead and take a look at some data. Okay, so as you can see here, this stage typically occurs around 10 to 16 months into a startup's life, and in this time, companies typically raise anywhere from $25,000 all the way up to $250,000 in the form of SAFE agreements, or a similar kind of deal structure called convertible notes. More on those later. You're going to use this money to get your initial product out into the market and determine whether or not there's a fit, product market fit. So what does that actually mean? Finding product market fit generally means looking at hard data to answer questions about your product. So this means a couple of things like, are people signing up to use it? Are they using it? And are they continuing to use it after trying it out for the first time? Basically, you're looking for signs that the product you've built is getting into the hands of actual customers and that those customers are actually finding it useful. Finding product market fit is a key stage for any startup, and it can kind of look a million different ways. So to illustrate that, let's hear a quick story from Carta's founder, Henry, about how he knew that he found product market fit here at Carta.
In the early days of Carta, one of the ways I knew we had product market fit was we had changed our phone system from one phone system to another. We made a mistake when we configured it. And so when a customer would call in and press 1 for sales and press 2 for support and so on, if they pressed 1 for sales, it would hang up on them. And we didn't know for a month because somehow customers were finding ways to buy without talking to a salesperson, by doing it online, by email, by calling into support. The only way we found out was after about a month, we had one customer come in through a support line that wrote us a furious message through the support channel that they were trying to buy Carta, but they couldn't find anybody who would take their money. And they were furious because they couldn't buy it. And that's when we knew we had product market fit, is that the customer was furious that they couldn't get access to a salesperson to buy it. And that's when we knew we were onto something important.
So yeah, product market fit can kind of reveal itself in a million different ways. And as you can probably guess, around this time is when you're going to start looking at newer, bigger types of funding. So let's go back to the map. As we know, we're focusing on two types of funding: angel investors and accelerators. So to get started, let's zoom right in on that first one, angel investors. So when you're ready, click on over to the next video and let's get started learning.